In a playoff game, man, scoring 8 points feels like forever. And that's what it felt like out there. And I think it started with just how we started off the second quarter and allowed them to feel very comfortable in that first quarter, and there was carryover. So I think we got to give them credit for hitting shots and doing the right things and capitalizing off our turnovers and also our lack of physicality. So it was a combination of a lot of those things where we allowed them to feel comfortable on the offensive end, and then defensively made it easier just in terms of our spacing. So give them credit.
How do you slow down Zubac going into game 2? He had a double-double at the halftime today.
Yeah, just being mentally prepared and physically prepared to match his energy. Kind of threw us for a little bit of a loop when they started off the game with him posting up. So just got to make adjustments and keep him off the offensive glass and just make it tough for him on those pick and rolls and, again, just match his energy.
Mike Curtis with Dallas Morning News. Obviously a week between games and even longer for you and Luka. Just how much did the long layoff kind of play into the first half, just offensive level?
Yeah, we knew we were going to have to knock off some rust. And us as a team, we have guys that have missed, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Timmy not being here for the past few days of preparation. I'm not saying those things as an excuse. It's just internally those things matter for the importance of what we're getting ready for. And, after the first half, we came into the locker room as a team and we talked about the things that we felt like we weren't doing and the things that we need to continue doing at a very high level. But it really centered around the foundational point of talking about physicality and this being the playoffs. A lot of guys aren't used to being here. A few young guys aren't used to being here, so they don't know what they can get away with and what the refs are going to call. So I think this was a great first test for us, and we obviously failed, and we came out with a loss. But I think there are some things we can take into game 2 as strengths that we can continue to push forward and utilize. And just not overthink it. Again, I talked about this a few weeks back. Just it's a series, not a time to lose confidence. We know our guys, some of my teammates are going to shoot better going into game 2. And we just want to continue to feed them confidence and see where we can control, and then stop them on the offensive end.
Tim Cato, The Athletic. I was going to ask about the improved second half. You obviously just covered the physicality and what you guys did at halftime. How much of it was adjustments and just kind of tweaks to some of the things that you guys brought into the first half? And how does that change a series for, game 1 for some adjustments already to be thrown out there?
Ask that one more time, bro. You asked a lot.
So
if you could just simplify the question for me. I know we got our guy over here, NBA PR. Just don't feel the pressure, man. Just ask your question. Come on, man.
How much was the improved play based off some adjustments you guys made?
Oh, okay, I appreciate that.
And then how much was, how much does that change the rest of the series? Because we all know series, there's adjustments happening all the time.
Yeah. I think there was a settling in process, a grounding process, and I think that's what I was referring to into the last question. Just a few of our young guys, including myself, just settling into our game plan, trusting it. They don't have Kawhi right now, so that was a bit of an adjustment for us when they came out the gates. And, they were playing, I would say James and Paul just playing very free, very loose. Knew they were going to get a lot of attempts up tonight. So when you have that when you're going against that type of kind of loose play and that confidence that they exude, you got to really just settle into what the overall game plan is and execute that. And I don't think that we came out very flat or without energy. I just think that our mind was all over the place. It's our first playoff game together. Got to settle in. And once we did that in the second half, then I felt like we put some stops together. We got some great offensive possessions, and our confidence started to get a little higher, and you can see that we were starting to look like the Dallas Mavericks we know ourselves to be. So it's a first game of a long series, and excited to see what happens game 2.
Hey, Kyrie, this is from media from China, Jibo. So we want to know that in the summer, would you have any plans for China trip or any details on that?
Yeah, I'm not focused on that right now, but yeah, there's something that I'm thinking about in terms of later in the summer going to China.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. You mentioned Kawhi. Obviously, you find out like an hour and 45 before the game he's not playing. What is that adjustment process like, and is there kind of a natural psychological letdown when they don't have, the face of their franchise?
I don't know if it's a do you mean to say it's like a let down or just a psychological kind of test and stuff like that? Okay.
Right.
Yeah, no. It is a psychological game. We're playing chess, we're playing a high level, combative game, competitive game. So when someone like Kawhi, who has a huge presence for their team, does a lot offensively and defensively, isn't playing, then there's a bit of an adjustment period mentally that you got to get ready, because that means that other guys have to step up. And I think we saw that tonight. Guys were making shots, hitting threes, even though their percentages don't necessarily reflect them shooting a high percentage. So we got to tip off our hat for them coming out and hitting us in the mouth in the first 2 quarters and taking care of home court and playing off the crowd and the excitement, and us being, unprepared for the physicality in the first 12 minutes. And then, after that, we settled ourselves and we got ourselves in the ball game, and we saw some positive things that we can carry over. But I think I have to agree with you. Psychologically, it was definitely a different mindset going in once we knew that Kawhi wasn't playing. And again, as a mature pro, you just got to be ready to adjust and adapt. That's what this game is about.
Hey, Kyrie, what are some of those positives that you can take away from this game?
Going into the second half, I think we really challenged them. We outscored them in the second half. We got stops. And also, some tendencies we saw from guys on their team that they were really going opposite and really challenging us to guard their different looks. So the first half, I think they had a few plays that we just weren't prepared for, and we got to take that accountability. But in the second half, I feel like once we picked up the physicality and we started demanding that greatness out of ourselves and stopped being afraid of the moment and started settling into what we're in. It's a war out there in the playoffs, metaphorically speaking, of course. So we got to enjoy it and have fun, but at the same time, bring it to these guys. Going against some Hall of Famers, so they're not going to make it easy. I don't even know if we're the favorite in this series, so we just got to really pay attention to what we can control.
Kyrie, apologize if you were asked throughout the week of practices, but you're going against a guy in Tilo who you won a championship with, a couple finals appearances with, I guess. Bit of a two-parter, but what is that relationship between you guys like? I know once you win a championship together, it's always going to be special. And what do you know about just the way he coaches, the way he adapts, and the way he kind of gets guys on his side?
Yeah, I think I would echo your first statement. We're bonded forever. We did something that can never, dang near. I don't know if it can be done again. We're one of the only team ever to come back from 3-1, and that took a lot of resilience and a lot of one-on-one communication between myself and him. And also we had Bron and we had other good guys that were selflessly sacrificing in their careers and were ready to win the championship and just throw it all on the line. So I definitely took some positives from what I learned from him, and now added to who I am as a person and as a competitor now. But me going against him as a player, it's a little bit different because I could see that he's giving them little cues, and I'm just trying to catch every little detail so I could carry it on to game 2 and make some adjustment myself. So he's grown as a leader. I've grown as a leader. So it's not the same T-Lou, and I'm not the same Kai, but it's just fun now that we can do it as mature chess players.
Kai, along those same lines almost, you and James, I remember when James got to Brooklyn and you was like, you be the one and I'll be the two. I think that might have helped him. Definitely, you can see it, what you and Luka have together. How does that kind of help you go through this playoff series when you guys, for the first time since y'all were teammates, are going up against each other in a playoff series, you and James?
Yeah, well, to answer your first part, I think the true testament of greatness is being able to adapt with other great players and not lose your identity and not fall into the victimization of external distractions and people telling you what you should be and how you should play. I think me and James didn't get enough reps, so we played a few games together, but we didn't get enough reps. But when you're playing with somebody that's special, it makes the game easier. But playing against him, you can tell that when he comes out with an aggressive mindset, it's a different team, and we just got to be ready for his ISO basketball and his one-on-one capabilities and his ability to make his teammates better. So it's good to be on the other side. Definitely miss him, but at the same time, glad that we get to compete against each other now.
Thank you.